Except for Akshay Kumar and Sunil Shetty, everybody's bodies are fake. I'm talking about one of the hottest celebrities in Bollywood. There's a room booked for her for 365 days in a year in a 5-star hotel in the suburbs. And her going rate is 10 lakhs per night. There's this star and his wife had this fetish for threesomes. That threesome ended there because he fell in love with this girl and it was all going really well until her hero husband developed feelings for her, and then suddenly he fell in love with her and the marriage went for a toss. They get oversexed. It fails to sexcite them. That's when the orientation changes and they get into fetishes. They are paying at least rent of 80,000 rupees for their apartment, then 1,000 rupees per day per outfit, then their shoes, their nails. If you just calculate that, Shloka, they are spending more than 6 to 7 lakh rupees a month and they're all jobless. Where is that money coming from? They also double up as commercial workers. They are strugglers by day and escorts by night. It's very, very sad. This flesh trait is supported by our glamour-struck, star-struck Bollywood crazy cricketers as well. I have seen retired Bollywood captains.
Simi Chandok is a seasoned Indian entertainment journalist and television personality, widely recognized for her sharp, candid voice, outspoken style, and insider insights into Bollywood and celebrity media. With over 2 decades in the industry, she began her career as a columnist before rising to become editor-in-chief of Lifestyle and Society at Zoom TV and later senior editor for entertainment and lifestyle at Times Now.
About 10 years, we used to have these agents and they used to carry a briefcase with pictures of all the actresses who are available per night. Then they would dole out pictures from their briefcase. It would be 10 lakhs, 6 lakhs. You cannot even imagine the big names of the heroines that were involved at that time. Everybody who you find unimaginable from the 90s was part of this game. I have seen this with my own eyes.
Morning to night, what are some of the insider truths of the Bollywood industry?
They wake up in the morning, they've had a late night. It makes them very physically active. That's how they can hit the gym for 3 hours. The guy would just come and he would give them an injection here on this bicep and this bicep, and suddenly Bollywood content is no longer in control of the media. It's completely fabricated and factory made. If you look at today, she had cut her ribs 35 years ago to make herself slim. They have butt implants, they have breast implants. The trend is to have such narrow waists and then a big butt and then a big bosom. Bipasha Basu she was the face of a shampoo ad. Nobody knows this, but actually she wears. Most of the Bollywood actors are takla today. They are bald and they are going through implants for their hair. I feel outsiders and Nepo kids, inki rivalry is not so much. But Nepo kids to Nepo kids, they are really suffering with rivalry issues right now. They're all insecure. Look at how aggressive their moms have become.
In the current crop of actors, males and females, who are the top rivals?
They are competing within themselves. There's place for only one person on the top. So they will do anything to cut each other. In fact, I feel bad for the Nepo kids. Their parents are so pushy, so ambitious for them.
Kartik Aaryan recently been lambasted for allegedly in a relationship with a girl who's younger in age. What do you make of this?
Rajesh Khanna was 34 years old when he got married to a 16-year-old Dimple Kapadia. Dilip Kumar, he was 22 years older than Saira Banu. And she very proudly admits that she fell in love with him when she was 12 years old. Tabhi to pedophila nahi tha yahan pe.
She has also been instrumental in conceptualizing Bombay Times Now, one of India's early glam-focused entertainment supplements, and has appeared across prominent national and international platforms, including the BBC London. We are honoured to welcome Miss Simi Chandok to the Body to Being podcast.
I think I'll have to gargle and wash my tongue and mouth with Listerine today after this episode. Monogamy cannot exist in Bollywood.
Behind the spotlights, stardom and the red carpet, what is Bollywood really like? Today we have with us a veteran journalist who spent over 3 decades with Bollywood. But before we begin, I have a little request. If you haven't already, do consider subscribing because unfortunately 80% of our viewers don't. Namaskaram, Simi Chandok. Welcome to the Body to Being podcast.
My pleasure, Shloka. Thank you for having me here. Namaskaram.
When people think of India, they think of Bollywood, It has this larger than life persona. You have the red carpet, you have global fame, you have some of the biggest and the most recognized names in the world who are Bollywood celebrities. But the perception behind this reality is actually quite different, because if statistics were to be believed, then Bollywood is some, I think, 18,000 crore rupee
1,000
industry.
crore industry.
You know, the reality and the perception sort of doesn't match the kind of grandiosity and the appeal that there is, which really raises some very important and interesting questions about maybe the unseen truths, the unseen reality of Bollywood that people don't know of or don't get to hear of as often. Morning to night, what are some of the insider truths of the Bollywood industry and of the Bollywood celebrities? Because I'll tell you where this is coming from. We see pictures of film stars being usually snapped at either airports or it's the gym. Yeah, it's actually just these two for the most part. So I want to know, morning to night, क्या चलता है सबके पीछे?
कोकेन चलता है, सब्सटेंस अब्यूज बहुत चलता है, अल्कोहलिज्म चलता है, स्टेरॉइड्स चलते हैं, एंड फॉर women it's all the possible implants you can get. And most of the Bollywood actors are takla today. They're bald and they are going through implants for their hair. They go through weaving, they go through hair patches, they go through everything. But then, it's like any star today, and anyway, men gray faster than women. But if you see any male star today, it's natural, right? It's nature. His hair is going to, if he touches up his roots, in 3 or 4 days, because men have shorter hair, it starts showing you the gray hair. So all these big khans, they dye their hair every 2 or 3 days. Look at the pressure they're in, okay? Then they wake up in the morning, they've had a late night, so they need something to push up their physical and mental well-being. So they snort things. When they snort substance, it makes them very physically active, and it also makes them feel very good in their head, So it gives them a sense of power, physical and mental. That's how they can hit the gym for 3 hours. You and I, Shloka, today, when we're on the treadmill, in 20 minutes, we're already thinking, okay, what's next? Which machine do I go to? And our workout will end in less than 40 minutes. I have gymmed for all my life, but I can never go beyond 40 minutes ever. Then when they have to shoot, so that substance they're abusing, I'm not saying everybody's doing it, but it's very, very prevalent in Bollywood today.
What's the percentage?
Okay, I'm going to put it in a very simple way. Except for, and I'm not accusing everybody else, but to the best of my knowledge, except for Akshay Kumar and Sunil Shetty, everybody's bodies are fake. And except for Sunil Shetty and Akshay Kumar, they are the only 2 stars who are substance-free and alcohol-free. And their bodies are naturally built up with hard work at the gym and a very disciplined life. And I've known them very closely since I was 16, 17 years old. So that answers your question about the percentage. Now, coming back to their routine. So in the morning when they wake up after a late night of shooting, then partying, then drinking, then they wake up in the morning, okay? Then all the stars, especially the males.
Early in the morning, when they wake up.
Yeah, because how are they going to wake up? They've been drinking till 3 in the morning. They've been shooting till maybe 5 in the morning. Then they catch up on 4 or 5 hours of sleep, and then they really need to work out. How do they find that energy, mental and physical energy to work out? So they can work out for 3 hours, which you and I cannot. And then if they're shooting and if they're showing their biceps, this I have seen when we do photo sessions with the stars. Earlier, we used to do a lot more than today. The guy would just come and he would give them an injection here on this bicep and this bicep, and suddenly the biceps would become bigger and it would last for 1.5 hours. So they're also on steroids, which completely messes them up because steroids make you lose control over your temperament. They make you very agitated and angry. They give you depression and they give you a lot of weight. So again, to lose weight, they are going to do substance abuse because it makes them thinner and more active and makes them feel like king of the world at that time. So whatever negative comments they're getting from, their followers or social media users, that kind of dulls the pain. It's not easy to be judged every day and being called a budao, buddha, buddhi, whatever. Then in the evening, okay, you know what? Now it's time. Now let's have some drinks, and Red Bull it is. And they are onto these energy drinks mixed with their alcohol. Now they have done whatever in their nose. They've had energy drinks with the alcohol. Now in the night, they're wide awake, they're partying. Now they need something to go to sleep. And all these things that give you a high, whether it's substance or alcohol, is also going to give you a terrible low when they leave your body. So then they go on antidepressants. Sushant Singh Rajput, people are very, very touchy about that subject. But then they start going on antidepressants, which again is a whole rigmarole. It's a big journey. And then, I mean, has actually posted videos from her vanity van where she's getting that IV drip. You know, I asked my doctor once, he's a dentist and he's also a dermatologist, Dr. Kushal Gangwani. And I said, Doc, what is this IV drip that they use? He says, all these beodas, Simi, they want to drink, they want to party all night, and then the next morning they want to look fresh. They don't want to look tired. They don't want to feel tired. So they use these drips. And that's how they shoot. And that's why they have no dark circles. They're not tired and they have that energy. I'm like, Doc, wow. So all this time I was thinking they're superhuman. And I'm naming my doctor for you. And unfortunately, they also double up as commercial workers. You know what I mean? Like whether it's the young guys who want to be gigolos, or there are so many young women in that model town, Marda area. They are strugglers by day and escorts by night. It's very, very sad. And you know what? So when my home went for redevelopment, I shifted to that area for a bit. And all I saw there was complete drug addiction, steroids, and pap amusements by day. And they double up as escorts by night, whether it's men, women, everybody. And they're all abusing drugs, peddling drugs. They're doing everything to keep themselves afloat. It's really, really sad.
And these are what, the small ones who are trying to make it in Bollywood, or are they do they already have work but not as much as they'd like?
It includes both. Both. I'm not talking about the absolute upper class people, but even that's a known fact. I mean, so about 10 years ago, 12 years ago, before social media became so strong and prevalent, we used to have, I won't use the P word, but we used to have these agents, and they used to carry a briefcase with pictures of all the actresses who are available per night. They would dole out pictures from their briefcase. And then it would be 10 lakhs, 6 lakhs. You cannot even imagine the big names of the heroines that were involved at that time. You cannot even imagine. Everybody who you find unimaginable from the 90s was part of this game. And then if you could not afford them, they would have another folder full of pictures of lookalikes of those actresses. So if those actresses are charging you 6 lakhs, 5 lakhs a night, you had others who were their lookalikes who probably look better than them, who were coming for 30,000 rupees a night. I have seen this with my own eyes. And then they started emailing those pictures. Now, there is no email, nothing. You know what? You just go on social media, see who you fancy. And these people have a way. I'm talking about one of the hottest celebrities. And I'm not saying she's an actress. Hottest celebrities in Bollywood. There's a room booked for her for 365 days in a year in a 5-star hotel in the suburbs. And her going rate is 10 lakhs per night. And a lot of this flesh trade is supported by our glamour-struck, star-struck Bollywood crazy cricketers as well. I have seen retired Bollywood captains picking up people from a 5-star hotel in the suburbs, picking up girls who were has-been heroines and has-been beauty pageant queens. I have seen them with my own eyes. So here, it's not hearsay. What I'm saying, I have seen with my own eyes. And Simi Chandok never does blind items, because if you don't have the guts to expose people with your byline, with your face, don't talk about it. But the day it threatens somebody's marriage, I'll probably keep quiet and not talk about it at all.
Which brings me to my other question. I'm going to be talking about swinging open marriages with you. So, with a recent statistic, very interesting, my team culled out the statistic. About 55% of married Indians admitted to having had an intimate relationship outside of marriage, and 41% of the urban Indians said that they would consider being in open marriages if their partners were okay with it, and about 35% said that they were already in open marriages. Now, this is the India ka scene. I want to know the Bollywood ka scene. How prevalent is our open marriages, swinging, wife swapping, etc.?
First of all, just blame Bollywood for it.
You're telling me all of this is emanated from Bollywood?
Yes, I would blame them. I think what you probably want to ask me is, did the wife swapping thing really happen with Karisma Kapoor as she had alleged in her divorce papers, right? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. because I mean, he was so much in awe of her, and he wouldn't put her through that to sleep with his friends and auctioning her and all that. I mean, look at the immense wealth he has left behind. You think that guy needs to offer his wife to anybody? No. Yes, there are kinks and there are fetishes which normal people also outside Bollywood may have, but blame this on Bollywood completely. So, Shloka, like right now, I want to talk about 2 or 3 really big stars and their marriages.
Yeah, but don't take names.
Okay. So, yeah, because Simi Chandok doesn't do blinds, but I will give in to your request because, Jesse, one big star marriage which was in trouble, and then one star marriage that broke up. What happened was there's this looking star and his wife had this fetish for threesomes. So she found this Latina girl and she found her very attractive. And she and her husband, I think I'll have to gargle and wash my tongue and mouth with Listerine today after this episode. She engaged her husband and this Latina actress in threesomes, and it was all going really well. The marriage was going really well until her hero husband, her star husband, developed feelings for her, for the Latina girl. And they had worked in a movie together, and then suddenly he fell in love with her, and the marriage went for a toss. So that threesome ended there because he fell in love with this girl and he became protective over her. So she decided to rope in another star wife, a superstar wife who was a good friend. Now they needed a male for that threesome. And that turned out to be a Bollywood actor who's never been very commercially successful, but he's known for his looks and he's also known for supplying substance in Bollywood to everybody and being kept by men, whether it's a famous designer or a famous star. So then these 2 star wives and that male actor indulged in all this. And that's where the friendships broke, the marriages went for a toss, and then somebody managed to revive their marriage, some people lost their marriage.
I want to know the reality of the extras in Bollywood. It used to be in the doldrums back in the day. How is it now?
First of all, I think extras are not in the doldrums all the time. I mean, if you look at so many extras who became big heroines, like let's start with Shahid Kapoor.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was a background dancer in Tal.
Shamak
right?
Davar, yeah.
Yes. Farah Khan. She was a dancer, junior artist crowd in her first movie. She looked gorgeous and beautiful. She used to do odd roles, and her most famous, her only claim to fame until was that one very suggestive dance that she had done in an item song. The moment decided that he wanted to marry her, he made sure that was erased out from the net. So we are not even talking about somebody else. We are talking about real life people who have been junior artists or background dancers, and then they just luck out and then suddenly they're respectable. So it's a very sad life for these junior artists because Shloka, actually, if you go to any set where movies are being shot, you will see that the junior artists with much simpler clothes, inexpensive clothes, and bad group makeup, they're still more attractive, more beautiful, more sexy than the heroine. And we have some Turkey heroes who decide they're done with the heroine, so they've maxed out and they're not interested in her anymore. They eye these junior artists and these junior dancers and they pick them up.
No, they're not interested in the actresses, their co-stars is what you mean anymore?
No, I mean, it's a very given thing. You know what? I remember told me once when I was there to interview him, we would sit for hours together that time with all the stars. So said, देख सिमी, मैं ना एक लड़की के साथ होता हूँ, उसको मैं 4 मूवीज के लिए रेकमेंड कर देता हूँ और सब हिट होंगी क्योंकि मैं हूँ उसमें. He was right. He said उसको 50-50 लाख एक मूवी का मिल गया, तो मैंने उसको 4-5 मूवीज दिला दी, तो वो तो 3-4 करोड़ की बन गई ना. So I'm not guilty. I have promoted her career and she has made enough money being with me. So why should I feel guilty? This is I'm talking about. He said that to me. You're in shock.
Yeah.
Shloka, you're in shock.
Namaskaram, I'm Shloka. We've spent a lot of time in developing this product, which is the authentic A2 Gir Cow Ghee by the brand name Yogic Organic. We've spent several years to bring this product to you. My endeavor was to bring to you the real goodness of authentic A2 Gir Cow Ghee, and here it is. Pre-orders are now open. To order, just call or WhatsApp on +91 8493 863427. So I have a quick rapid fire for you. One Bollywood myth you'd like to break.
That people think there's a lot of sex in Bollywood. I think Bollywood is the most sexless place.
One uncomfortable truth that Bollywood avoids.
They're drugs. Except for Sanjay Dutt and Ranbir Kapoor, nobody has been honest. And it's a menace.
Ranbir Kapoor.
And I'm not judging them. Yes, he had admitted that I used to smoke hash. And then I met his dad, Rishi Kapoor, at a Holi party. And I said, Tabhi Ranbir Kapoor star nahi bana tha. And he had just given this one interview. So I said, Chintu, you know what? Your son Ranbir shouldn't have admitted to that. And he said, he's done the right thing. And see me, I'll prove it to you. And he was right.
One change the industry, Bollywood industry desperately needs.
I think they need to start spending some time in self-reflection. And they need to start worrying more about their inner self than their outer bodies, which is destroying their brain, their mind, their heart, their health, everything. They really need to start working on their soul, their mind, and then their body and their being. No pun intended for your channel.
One word to describe Bollywood when you started, and one word for Bollywood today.
Love, 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 only love. Pyar hi pyar. They are such loving people.
Is monogamy realistic in celebrity life?
Cannot exist. Monogamy cannot exist in Bollywood. Anywhere there's a celebrity.
No celebrity is monogamous?
No, not possible. Unless they go impotent. Not possible. And this is not true just about Bollywood. Anywhere where there's a lot of success and fame, it holds true. But Bollywood and monogamy do not go together and never ever will.
Bollywood's biggest secret?
Bisexuality.
What is the actual reality for newcomers in Bollywood today?
Newcomers are very opportunistic. Don't think they're innocent targets. They're very smart. They compromise at every level. They are desperate to make it. And if luck and destiny helps them, they go very far in life. But they are not becharas. No.
Award functions, are they, if ever, rigged?
Always rigged, always paid, always barter deals for a dance performance, for an attendance, for anchoring the show. All Bollywood awards are completely rigged, and I have been part of that system. I have seen it myself.
Yes, so that finishes our rapid fire. There are individuals in Bollywood, much like in India, who are closeted queer people, right? They don't choose to come out. The problem is not with the sexuality. The problem is that A, they're closeted, and number two is that they may even be in heteronormative relationships.
Yes. And also, I think, the Bollywood audience, they just want to look at alpha males. So the moment somebody comes out in the open and, they say, okay, we are out of the closet, their careers are over.
But gays are such alpha. Gays are so good looking and so alpha. I think most of my crushes have been gay men.
Yes, they may be very good looking, but that alpha male, that oozing masochism and male masculinity, that's not happening. So they don't want to show that side of themselves. Their careers will be destroyed. I mean, if the stars come out, probably in another 10 years they'll start coming out, but right now it's not happening. But like there was an actor who apparently came out, which he denied, but he had said that he's gay, and now he denies that he made that statement. He was on Bigg Boss 2. I'm talking about who had done that famous movie, Nika. So he denies that now, so I will put that on record. But the moment he became open about whatever, the statements he says were attributed to him that he didn't make, but when supposedly he said, yes, I'm gay, his career was finished. His wife left him. His daughter never looked back on him, and he's not seen her for years, for decades. So even if they want to be honest, they cannot. There's tremendous pressure on Bollywood stars. I feel bad for them. It's such an unenviable life. We feel they have fame, they have success, they have good looks, they have happiness, they have power, they have everything. You know what? Emotionally and spiritually, Bollywood se gareeb koi jagah hi nahi hai.
Bisexuality or trisexuals or whatever, how prevalent is it? Because people don't claim, to sort of have much of it. Yeah.
You know what? I feel that they have the right to choose their sexual orientation because they're not they've not become that over time. Maybe they're born with it. Maybe they have had childhood traumas, teenage traumas, where they were abused or whatever. But more than that, I would blame all these, gay icons of Bollywood who are like small time designers or small time comedians, and they come and say, oh, a big star was in love with me and he was crazy about me. You know what? If you have the guts, spell out his name. Don't try and get publicity without naming that person. You're getting lakhs and lakhs of views by saying that and getting people to feel bad for you, and then you're attracting bisexuals or homosexual viewers to come to you. That's not right. And one of them is Ruby Darling. I won't take other names. Why? If you have the guts, open up. No, all you gay people who say, I had an affair with this big star, that TV star, but I'm not going to take names. Then shut up. Then just zip, and don't talk.
Tell me about these fetish clubs, Simiji, that you were telling me about, Pehle.
Yeah, there are many. I mean, you know what? I saw many of them in the US also. I lived there for 7 years. But I think the hub is UK, London, the suburbs. They all go to fetish clubs. Why not?
Bollywood stars go to fetish clubs.
I don't think it's an organic condition. I think it's more of an environmental and situation based equation. You know what? The problem is that when a hero becomes a big star, he has all the beautiful heroines at his feet, literally, at his disposal. And one is more beautiful than the other. So that, after some time, becomes so easily available, it fails to excite them. Then they start looking at junior artists. Then even that thing, they're oversexed. For them to be with beautiful, good-looking, very attractive, Venus kind of women is very common. So then the normal things fail to excite them, Shloka. That's when they are so oversexed in Bollywood that the normal that is so easily available for them, which is not available for the normal Indian, it fails to sexcite them. It fails to excite them. And that's when their orientation changes and they get into fetishes, their orientation changes, maybe they are bi, whatever. So that's about it.
Okay. My question is with the casting couch. With the Me Too movement, a lot of industry secrets came to light. Very recently, we had the husband of a very famous Bollywood star who was caught broadcasting and publishing pornographic content in the pretext of getting these young women openings in Bollywood. My question to you is, how prevalent is casting couch in today's time?
That star wife's husband you're talking about is now playing to the religious galleries where he is supposedly turning Sikh with a turban and his beard. Trust my instinct here, it'll be a matter of months before he goes clean shaven again. It's suiting him right now. So the best way to show that you're spiritual or religious and you don't do wrong things is by changing your whole appearance. So it's a matter of months before he goes kachak, kachak, and the turban is gone. He is using religion as a big excuse to hide behind for all his nefarious activities that he did. Yes, the fact remains that he did make adult videos and adult films. There is no two ways about it. But did he force anybody? Shalin Chopra, what she did for paparazzi? And that press conference with Rakhi's husband and her beautician friend, what she was doing, laying on the floor, doggy style and everything. And Poonam Pandey, who said that she would strip for the cricket team if they won the cup. So you think was really forcing these women, or were they willing victims? I'm not defending here. I'm actually naming him while you said a star wife's husband. I'm naming him. So, I mean, you cannot force somebody. You can force them once, twice. After that, what? They could have shown up there with the cops, right? And say, listen, I'm being forced to produce adult content. Also, Shloka here, when we are talking about this casting couch, all the girls who accused people, how come not even one of them won the case? We can say Bollywood is powerful, but they were not less powerful. Not all of them. Why is it that all the women who gave these allegations of the casting couch being physically abused. I don't want to use the S word. How come none of them followed the cases right through the end? And now they just keep giving random interviews where they've become popular and famous. And they're still holding on to that story. Why? I mean, is the Mumbai police that incompetent? Really? That not even one, I mean, Shiny Ahuja, his mate took that back. And today he's sitting in Philippines doing export-import garment business. How come not even one of them followed it through? Why does the case get buried suddenly and these women keep quiet and they go into silent mode? Why? How much do you believe them? How much do you not believe the stars when they're saying it? Casting couch exists. Exploitation exists. But are some people taking advantage of that? Yes. Like there's this ex-girlfriend of, I mean, she said, मैं 16 years की थी जब मैं यहाँ आई और मैं के साथ थी और उन्होंने मुझे मारा, उन्होंने ये किया, उन्होंने वो किया, ये किया, वो किया, and फिर मेरे पापा ने मुझे वहाँ बुला लिया. Dude, you are 16 years old. What the hell was your father doing sending you here to compromise and getting beaten up while he had rented a 5-star hotel room for you there?
Okay. Kartik Aaryan has been recently been lambasted for being allegedly in a relationship with a girl who's younger in age. What do you make of this? Firstly, I don't even know if it's true or if it's rumored. And second is that what would
Are
you
there
have
other
to
people like that?
Yeah, are there other people like that? And yeah, what do you have to say about this basically?
When we're talking about Kartik Aaryan, we are presuming that girl is underage. Secondly, there is no proof that he was with her. Just 2 pictures on a beach can be common with anybody because you'll find the same sand, you'll find the same feel, whether you're in Juhu Beach in Bombay or whether you're in Ibiza or, wherever you may be in Goa. So I think he's being very unfairly targeted. And I think the Nepo Maharajas are having a great time doing this to him, destroying him like that, calling him a pedophile. I want to ask those people on social media who have been so enthusiastically posing pictures of that girl. I can name her, but I don't want to name her. If she has not sought publicity and you're going and putting her bikini pictures and linking her up with Kartik Aaryan, how different are you from the accusations you're making about Kartik Aaryan? Did that girl seek publicity? No. Did you all protect her individuality, her privacy? No. What right do you have to go on Google and take pictures out from her school activities and everything and come to the conclusion that she's under 18? And even if Kartik Aaryan met her, how do we know that he was physically intimate with her? There's no proof. Don't destroy somebody's career and image like this. It's not fair. But yes, when it comes to, Kartik Aaryan, don't call him a pedophile unless you can prove it. And I'm not taking into account those silly screenshots that other women are posting there. Anybody can do it. But in this case, all you could see was her picture separately and him, poor guy. He could be anywhere. And so what if he met her? How do you know he's been intimate with her? Why are you attacking that guy? Because he's the only one giving takkar to Nepo kids. Rajesh Khanna was 34 years old when he got married to a 16-year-old Dimple Kapadia. Shloka, I have a question for you here now. For once, I'm on the other side of the fence. What were Dimple Kapadia's parents doing when they got her married? And until this day, we always hear this love story in the most positive way that she was 16, he was 34, यहाँ से बारात लेके गए, वहाँ से बारात निकाली, blah, blah, blah. And then they say Dimple was only 17 or something when she had her first child, So where was pedophilia then? Dilip Kumar, he was 22 years older than Saira Banu. And she very proudly admits that she fell in love with him when she was 12 years old. तो दादी नानी सब तभी वेलम खा के सोई थी क्या जब शादी करवाई? तभी तो पीडोफिला नहीं था यहाँ पे. So today has become a very fashionable word, a hashtag to use, which we have borrowed from the West, which we have inherited from the Western countries. What are we talking about? Dimple and Rajesh Khanna, we talk about so nicely. Dilip Kumar, his wife fell in love with him when she was 12 years old. We talk about it very nicely. और आज हम pedophile बोल रहे हैं कार्तिक आर्यन को. कंगना रनावत, who is the moral police of Bollywood. Okay? She represents everything that is correct in Bollywood, and she shouts out and calls out to things that are wrong in Bollywood. How old was she when she was dating Aditya Pancholi, who was 39 years old? Kangana was 17 years old. किसी ने आज तक क्वेश्चन पूछा? किसी ने आज तक उनको ट्रोल किया? Then, we have Shahid Kapoor.
Yeah.
He's a big Bollywood star. And I'm seeing his mom, Nilima Azim, giving interviews going viral everywhere on YouTube. She was 17 years old. And her husband was 22 years old maybe, Pankaj Kapoor, from where Shahid Kapoor gets his last name. वो pedophile नहीं था, वो pedophile नहीं था. That was not pedophilia. So what are we talking about, yaar? Why single out Kartik Aaryan? And there is no proof that he was intimate with that girl. Sunidhi Chauhan, she's only 18 years old, and her husband, Bobby Khan, was 33 years old. Chalo, at least they were adults. But what about Shahid Kapoor's dad? What about the other names we've taken right now? Why single out Kartik Aaryan? Because he's a non-nepo and he's making it in life? यहाँ पे तो लोग बहुत proudly कहते हैं, मुझे पता है, Shloka, when I go for Bollywood parties, or I started chasing my wife when she was only 10 years old. Then by the time she was 15 and I was 21, we got married. ऐसे बहुत सारी stories हैं. But they're very low profile people, so I don't want to mention them. But मैं तो नाम लेती हूँ, आपके episode भी सबके नाम लिया मैंने.
So, as someone who's been at the helm of, entertainment journalism for 3 decades, over 3 decades now, were you ever manipulated into writing reviews? And वो उसकी reality थोड़ा बताइए क्या होती है?
Never. ये सब जो करते हैं ना, अभी बहुत नीचे level के लोग करते हैं. Yes, the stars, you know what? If you wrote bad about them, if you spoke bad about them, they are very, very accommodating and accepting. They will not create a problem for you. They will not say, "Arey, तुमने ये कर दिया." But a lot of stars that I have seen over 30 years, अगर आप उनके rival की तारीफ कर दो या rival को publicity दे दो, वो उनको दुखता है. पर उनके बारे आप जो भी बोलो stars के बारे में, the biggest superstars, anybody, they are so accommodating, you cannot imagine. I get this question for the last 30 years, Simi, you speak so honestly about the stars. Don't they just want to come and, get upset with you? Don't they call you, abuse you? No, they are so wonderful. They are so supportive and they're very accepting. But I think the only thing that bothers them is when you start promoting their rivals. That's the only weakness, to be honest.
What are some of the rivals in the industry that people don't know of?
No, we all know, like, when Shah Rukh and Salman Khan, they didn't talk for years after that birthday party at Olive, and there was a big fight there. And then they didn't talk for years. And then, of course, the big historical, monumental, earth-shattering event that occurred where they patched up. I still remember that Salman's dad, Salim Khan uncle, he had made a very, very bold but a very, very resonating statement. He said that if you think that Shah Rukh and Salman are best friends and they are not rivals, that will never happen. At the end of it, they're competing with each other and they will stay rivals no matter how strong the friendship. They are in a rival position and they will stay rival forever. So I don't have to say anything. These are things that the Bollywood experts are saying. They have seen, Salim Khan has seen Bollywood inside out. He's seen it through Salman's life also. So for him to make that statement, I think that sums up everything about rivalries in Bollywood.
So, I have some statistics which go to show that between 1916 and 1980, 70% of the prominent actors had family connections and they got their children to debut. In 2000s,
Even now,
in
it's
2000s,
probably higher now.
In 2000s, it's 40%. And then you have breakthrough stars like Aneet Padda who come in. And I would even say Aditya Dhar for that matter. He comes from a non-legacy family, right? And Dhurandhar, I was reading today, is the Indian film with the highest box office numbers. So tell me about this.
I feel outsiders and Nepo kids, inki rivalry is not so much. But I think Nepo kids to Nepo kids, they are really suffering with rivalry issues right now. They're all insecure. Look at how aggressive their moms have become. They've been housewives and somebody is designing jewelry, somebody is doing events, everything. But they're never ambitious women. But today with all their daughters and maybe even sons, all competing with each other, it's a very nasty game of PR happening there.
In the current crop of actors, males and females, who are the top rivals?
I would say right now, you have Janhvi Kapoor, you have Ananya Pandey, you have Sara Ali Khan, and not yet Shania. And then they are competing within themselves. Now it's very interesting because their parents are all good friends, but Rivalry is rivalry. There's place for only one person on the top. So they will do anything to cut each other. Let them be friends. Let their moms have, red wine together and pastas together. At the end of it, they'll do what they have to do through Karan Johar or through YRF or whatever it takes them. They're going to do it. I think the rivalry between Nepo kids and outsiders is not that bad. It's not that vicious. I think the rivalry between the Nepo kids is really, really ugly. I mean, think about it. Today, Ahan Pandey is Ananya's cousin. And all the time we are seeing narratives that, they don't name Ananya or her mother Bhavna. And Bhavna is a very nice and spiritual person. But she will do anything it takes, right, to promote her child. That's her dharma also. So why should she not? I'm not talking about Karan Johar's dharma. I'm talking about karma and dharma. So it's her job to make sure her daughter succeeds. And today you see so many rumors about, Aneet Padda being replaced, blah, 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 and everything. One, Aneet Padda has come into the picture and she's shaken up all these girls. And if you ask me, people may find this very biased, but I think the only Nepo girl who will make it in Bollywood is Suhana Khan. I'll give you a reason for this. Bollywood, there is no other place that is more conservative, most misogynistic than Bollywood. Shloka, I have a question to ask you. How many Bollywood stars have launched their daughters? They all launched their sons with home productions. They put in crores and crores of rupees. How many stars have launched their daughters? Shatrughan Sinha didn't have the money? He could have, but he sent her to... You think Ananya could not have been launched by her parents? She could have. So Hema Malini, such a progressive woman who broke all societal norms to get married and have her daughters, she launched Shah Rukh Khan with Dil Ashna Hai. But who launched her daughters? Not she. Twinkle Khanna. She was launched. She had movies with the Amir Khan's production house, Amir Khan, and then YRF. But Dimple or Rajesh Khanna did not launch her. They used their influence to get her work, but they did not launch her. There's only one person who's an exception to this rule, and that is Shah Rukh Khan. He's actually making sure and riding on a lot of money, hundreds of crores, for his daughter. Can you think of anybody else, Shloka, where parents have launched their daughters? They're so conservative, so misogynistic in their attitude. They will never launch their daughters, they'll launch their sons.
But what is the reason? What is the problem with the daughter's talent?
It tells you about the mindset.
Okay.
The basic respect and faith that a woman can be successful. I mean, it's so badly shattered. They only invest in men. You think of anybody. All these parents have enough money to launch them. But they will they'll put in some money to an extent, maybe. But they don't want to invest in their daughters क्योंकि उनको लगता है एक बार वो 34-35 साल की हो गई उसने पैसे कमा लिए फिर तो उसकी शादी करनी है जो if it's a guy, like say an Ahan Pandey or Ibrahim Ali Khan, they're all wonderful boys and they have talent. People don't realize it. Ibrahim Ali Khan had a bit of a speaking problem, but he's worked on that. And if you meet him in real life, Shloka, he's such a wonderful boy. That child is so wonderful, so positive. I feel bad when I see that people are running him down all the time. Give him a chance, yeah. So likewise in Bollywood, what I'm going to say may sound very harsh to Bollywood Nepo kid parents, but you know what? Even when we keep a pet dog, we look for the pedigree of that dog. हम लोग जब कुत्ते को भी रखते हैं ना उसकी नस्ल देखते हैं. So what is wrong when people like Karan Johar or whoever you want to name, when they are promoting Nepo kids, their pedigree is such. They have star parents, their DNA has stardom in it. So what is wrong? Today, how many people want to keep stray dogs at home versus people who have all big breeds? You know what? So अगर कुत्ते की नस्ल देख सकते हैं तो एक्टर की नस्ल क्यों नहीं देखो उनकी पेडिग्री क्यों नहीं देखो आप
Got it. But are they as open to receiving newer talent, non-legacy actors and actresses vis-a-vis their own legacy?
Yeah. You know what? I think this whole Nepo kid narrative is just overdone, over-exaggerated. And you know what? How many Nepo kids can Karan Johar launch? They fail. The one thing our viewers have to understand, today the power is with the audience, with the viewers. If they want to reject somebody, they're going to do it. If they want to reject a Vedant Raina or Veer Paharia, they're going to do it, and it happens. It's there in front of you. So they will only accept Nepo kids if they like the movie they're watching, if they like what they're doing. The power is no longer with the biggies of Bollywood, the big production homes of Bollywood. No, they're also using them because they're thinking it's a safe bet. His parents are famous, her parents are well known, so we will be able to ride that tide also. So it's all give and take. There is no charity, there's no generosity in Bollywood. People who keep abusing Karan Johar, poor guy, you know what? It's his money he earned. He can decide where to blow it. So he's going to do the best that he can to make his production house successful. आज आप एक loser nepo kid को ला दो ना, एक film के बाद why is that kid not being repeated? So this is a narrative. Today the PR game has become very ugly. And I feel somewhere that the nepo kids are being badly judged because they do not have that kind of power. Ki if they flop, they're still going to make it. Look at Khushi Kapoor. In fact, I feel Janhvi Kapoor will get married and, just fizzle out. But Khushi Kapoor, sorry to say this, but, her whole persona, I think if she starts doing negative roles, she may really succeed. Look at Twinkle Khanna. At that time, there was no such term as nepotism. It's been coined by Kangana Ranaut. And nepotism is what? It usually, that word was used for the political families, coming up from generation to generation. And then it became a very fashionable word. But you think today somebody will put in 300 crores, 400 crores for any nepo kid? No. Alia Bhatt made it, but she made it on her talent. Look at the kind of movies she did, her performance. She didn't make it because she's Mahesh Bhatt's daughter. And one more thing. People think that the casting couch exists only for non-nepo kids, for non-Bollywood actors. No. In fact, I feel bad for the nepo kids. Their parents are so pushy, so ambitious for them. They will fall to any level. I mean, come on. They send their daughters to parties at home. And then around 12:31, they'll leave and they'll leave their daughter there. Okay, you know what? Party till 5, 6 in the morning. I'm not saying is using them, but do they need to do this? So are nepo kids that privileged? I doubt it.
And even the face procedures, right? I see a lot of these youngsters with face procedures. Youngsters meaning these legacy costumes.
Yeah. It's like, once I was shocked. We got a new a Labrador puppy at home. And we were just getting him home. And then in 2 or 3 days, my son was really young at that time. And he said, Mom, this is not my American accent, okay? I don't have any accent. I'm accused of having an accent in Hindi, Punjabi and English. मैं ते बड़ी ठेठ हिंदी और पंजाबी बोलनी है पता नहीं why I'm accused of having an accent, but anyway, so my son says, when the lab would smile like the pug, he would get these lines here, and my son says, Mom, I think Sky needs Botox. And I was like, oh my God, look at the level where this has gone. My little boy is telling me my dog needs Botox. So yes, you know what, and it's not just non-surgical procedures. I can understand pumping your lips, your cheekbones, narrowing your jawline, sharpening it. But if you look at today, you look at, they're admitting it too, but, you see 3-packs and 6-packs abs here, like Cher, that singer from America. She had cut her ribs 35 years ago to make herself slim. Today, if you look at recent videos, you're going to be shocked at what you see. You're going to feel unwell. And then we have all these girls. You can actually see their pictures before and after. They have butt implants, they have breast implants, and then they cut their ribs. And now suddenly, the last 8 months, the trend is to have such narrow waists, and then a big butt, and then a big bosom. Can you imagine? And then, of course, they're going through those skin whitening treatments. This is also all hera-fairy if you ask me. Because when the Indian medical experts found out that this injection can be harmful in the long run, it can actually give you loose motions for the rest of your life. But these nepo mothers don't worry about that. They just want to face it now, and jo hoga baad mein dekhi jayegi. So when they make them go through this, lightning treatment and all that, so the Food and Drug Authority in India, they cut down the dose to half, which was medically acceptable. But all these people, they lightened the skin before that. And even now, you can go to so many dermatologists, and they will break the rules and they'll give you a double dose. Now, the sad part is if I decide to become lighter than my skin, and I'm doing this interview with you, Shloka, So I don't think any doctor will be ready to give me the double dose, which is much above the permissible limits. So, saying, oh, I wear sunscreen and I don't go in the sun. Dude, what did your daughter do then? Why not the same treatment for your son? Because dark men are acceptable, dark women are not acceptable in Bollywood. Why do they have this need to push them? So when people say Nepo kids are privileged, can you imagine what their parents are putting them through? By the time they're 18, 19, they have butt implants, they are cutting their ribs, they are cutting their noses and reshaping them. They're all living with breast implants. It is so ugly what the Nepo parents are doing. I feel that after this episode, after watching it, if even a few viewers can resonate with the kind of trauma Nepo kids are put through by their own parents. Shruti Hassan, Kamal Hassan's daughter, she was one of the honest people who said, yes, I got a nose job done. Yes, I got my jawline fixed. Everybody.
And these
they
chests, you said rib something, right? Rib sculpting?
Yeah, so earlier there were breast implants, then we got the butt implants, and now they're getting their ribs cut. Suddenly, over the last 8 months, you can just go through pictures and their waists are this little. It's abnormal. How can you have 40 inches of a bust line and 40 inches of a butt line, and then you have this little tiny waist? It doesn't happen with compression garments. No. They cut their ribs and they're putting them through this. Are they thinking that where will my daughter go when she needs to conceive and her body is not ready to take all this? We already have Sharlene Chopra, who used to ride high on her silicone implants, and that's the only talent she showed. Now she gets her implants out because she had a cancer scare and she said it was causing her back pain. But I think it's a lot more than back pain. And then she comes with those breast implants in her hand, those silicone thingies, those cups, and she says, "Meko samajh nahi aa raha hai. Should I auction these or should I just give them to my biggest follower?" I mean, where do you stop with this, yeah? Today, all these star kids are setting such, impossible goals. Today, when a guy goes to see a girl, he will think, why can't she have the bust line of or a butt like? Why doesn't she have a sharper jawline? Whatever. And the girls on their side are thinking, why should I bear a baby in my body? Surrogacy. You blame this on Bollywood. It's a disaster in India today. I actually have a friend who is almost 40 now, and she had a child 7 years ago. And before she had that child, we were just talking about having kids, and she said, my husband has said, babe, we're only going to do surrogacy because I cannot see you go through pain. You won't be able to take the pain of motherhood and delivering and the labor pain. I mean, what are we coming to? This lady that I'm talking about, she has done 1 or 2 shady roles in South movies. And she has a 30-second role with one of Salman Khan's movie with Salman Khan where she's his drug peddler. But she doesn't want to spoil her body, so she went ahead and had a surrogate baby. And I blame Bollywood for this, Shloka.
So they don't want to essentially ruin their figures is the reason they go for surrogacy.
Yes, and ruin their figures. Plus, you know what? Today the shelf life of any star is very short. It's like a college batch. Actually, Bhushan Kumar's dad, Gulshan Kumar, he had told me this 25 years ago, maybe more. And he said, Simi, ये जो आजकल हीरो हीरोइंस आते हैं ना, ये कॉलेज बैच की तरह होते हैं. 12th standard के बाद you're in college, you have a shelf life of 5 years. In Bombay, you go to college when you're in 11th grade. So 11th, 12th, and then 3 years, and you're done with your graduation. He says this is exactly how careers are going to go in Bollywood. 5-year shelf life. Once you graduate, you're off, and the new batch is ready. And what he said to me 25 years ago today is coming true.
But there are actors and actresses who are lasting in their 40s, Deepika Padukone, etc.
Yes, and I admire her for that, including Anushka Sharma, Rani Mukherjee. They've all done it. But you know what? When I used to live in America, I realized that you could, in North America actually, so that includes Canada, where when you go for a delivery of your baby, it comes with a package where the tummy tuck is included. So the moment you deliver your baby, they give you a nice tummy tuck with the cesarean, and you're all stitched up and you're all flat in 2 months. And that's setting such wrong precedents for the normal middle class people. So like I said, the boys are thinking she should have that bust line and that butt line and those lips and those cheeks and such beautiful hair. I mean, Bipasha Basu used to, she was the face of a shampoo ad, right? A shampoo brand. And nobody knows this, but actually she wears 6 hair extensions. You and me are not wearing a single hair extension. But these people, when they are doing those ads, first of all, they're all computerized and they make them happen. But when they are shooting or they're out at events, they are wearing 6 hair extensions. I cannot even imagine how terrible those clips must feel on their head. There have been so many pictures of Alia recently where her hair is thinning and she has very little hair going to gym. And then suddenly when you see her, she has hair. Like the men, they want the Gen Zs and millennials today, they want their, future wives to have a good body. And what are the women expecting? You know what? If it doesn't work out, I want a divorce. And just like Suzanne Khan, Ritik's wife, she got 500 crores. You know, today Bollywood is so guilty. They're so they should be ashamed of the kind of marriage standards they've set up for the youth of India, for all Indian youth actually, outside India as well. In fact, recently there was this person from Bollywood, not an actor, media. She met the husband's lawyer, and the lawyer tells her, "Arey, you're from Bollywood, yaar. Come on, give a happy, friendly divorce." So she said, "Okay, you're giving me Suzanne Khan's example. Give me 500 crores. I'll do it peacefully." So we are setting such unrealistic standards, which is affecting the youth of India. Where, okay, everybody has the freedom today. If I want, I will go and get my face tightened like that. I'll do anything I want. My son has sworn me that I will never use any fillers. So I'm Botox free for 8 years and I'm happy. But imagine a lawyer telling you in court, "Arey ma'am, Bollywood ke divorces se inspiration lo na. See how peaceful their divorces are. They're not bitter." Of course, if you're going to get 100 crores, why will you be bitter? If you look at Ehsan Roshan's wedding, who's Hrithik Roshan's cousin. So Hrithik Roshan comes in with his girlfriend, who's no match to his looks or the women he has dated before, or his ex-wife Suzanne. And he comes in with her, and the sons are walking with her, and then Suzanne is walking in with her Kashmiri boyfriend. And can you imagine the people there? What are the values we're sending across to them? That it's okay, get divorced, you date somebody randomly, I'll date somebody randomly, and we are good friends, and everything is okay. Is that possible in a middle-class family? It's not. So money makes it easier for them. But listen, you know what? When Ehsan Roshan was getting married, there must have been so many young, marriageable Indians there. And instead of looking at Ehsan and his fiancée getting married, they're looking at Hrithik with his girlfriend and Suzanne with her boyfriend. What is the message you're sending across? It's okay, get married. If it doesn't work out, you'll still become good friends. And no matter who you date, how many people you date, it's a free-for-all. Enjoy.
Why is it that they get shot mostly around airports or gyms? मतलब वहीं पर paparazzi कैसे आ जाती है?
First of all, you know what's the funniest thing I see is, I think, Shloka, I'm the only one who's traveling by a commercial airline. You know, everybody else is only going in private jets these days. Have you noticed that? I mean, you look at Yo-Yo Honey Singh, you look at Sunny Deol, who was out of work for 26 years, 22 years, whatever. You see the smallest of Nepo kids and the youngest of them. Then you see the oldest of them. They are not being packed outside the main airport entrance. They're all being packed at Kalina, which is your private airport entrance. And they're all taking private jets. I don't know how this works, who pays for them. Maybe 1 or 2 people have leased out private jets among the stars. Rest of them, I don't know who's paying for them, but when I look at it, I'm like, okay, Simi, you're the only one flying commercial airlines, dude. You know, up your standard now. And next time, you better be seen at the Kalina private jet airport. How? They are setting such unrealistic standards for everybody. You go to the reels on Instagram, Bollywood reels, for the last 10 days. Show me one big star who has taken a commercial flight. The last 2 people I saw taking a commercial flight was Ibrahim Ali Khan and his rumored girlfriend, Palak Tiwari. Other than that, yesterday I saw Amitabh Bachchan taking that private plane. Everybody just takes private jets. And none of them own them. None of them.
So I understand the big stars and the big leaguers who take these private jets, but what about the small ones? Who is paying for them?
I think right now they make this demand from the organizers of whatever events they're going through. I mean, Karisma Kapoor is not very active in Bollywood, right? Though she is doing well with her endorsements and everything. But when her ex-husband Sanjay Kapoor died, she and her kids, her daughter and her son, Kareena and Saif, they attended the funeral in a private jet in Delhi. And then she went back again for the chautha, whatever, again in a private jet. I know one thing that most of these stars, I'm not talking about Karisma Kapoor here, but how did she manage 3 flights back and forth between Mumbai and Delhi for her ex-husband's last rites or prayer meets or anything? So that says a lot, but stars are very greedy today. They befriend very big industrialists. And there's no just one industrialist. There are many tycoons. And they fly in their private jets. And that's how you see them having a great holiday in Stade in Switzerland. You know? Montreux, Evian, south of France, wherever. They just befriend all these rich tycoons and they fly with them. And now it's become a status symbol. They cannot be seen entering the airport where you take commercial flights from. So now, whenever they have events or anything, besides charging them money for their concerts or shows or events or brand endorsement events, they also, I think they also ask for a private jet ride.
I've also heard that many of these celebrities, I think at least the middle leaguers or the small leaguers,
I know your question, so I couldn't stop laughing. Please repeat that question for your viewers, Shloka.
they come to the airport all dressed, they don't take the flight, they get themselves shot, and then they go back in their cars.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You nailed it. It's the truth. So, you know, there'll be an Urfi Javed, there'll be some Khushi Mukherjee who I call Dukhi Mukherjee because the way she shows her body in such an obscene way. I mean, at least have a good, beautiful body. You're paying the cosmetic surgeon anyway. So that Kasai is cutting up your body and everything, at least show a beautiful body. But all these people, they just go there in an Ola, Uber cab. They make it wait, they just pose and they pay the paps and they come out. But today, this has become very big business. Like Rakhi Sawant said, मीडिया है तो मैं हूँ, सोशल मीडिया है तो मैं हूँ, मैं तो मीडिया के साथ, मेरे को तो मीडिया ही पैसे कमा के देता है. So, you know, my question there is, you know, I see restaurants and they're big restaurants, okay? And then suddenly you see one, I don't know her name is, some aspiring wannabe Bollywood celebrity. I won't even call them starlets because they don't have TV shows and they don't have any movies. They just show up there. So there's this one particular girl, she will come there and she's wearing the skimpiest shorts and the most revealing innerwear on top. And she just comes there and the PAPS cameras are on and she takes off her t-shirt and she's ready for the show. Now, I have a question, Shloka. What if you or me are going there with our parents or our in-laws or our old uncles and aunts and we are seeing that woman barely wearing anything? So I have tagged the BMC, you know, the Bombay municipality. I have tagged the Mumbai Commissioner of Police. Why aren't they taking any action about this? So who stops them? Why are those restaurants allowing people to be ardnagna there, literally, meaning half-clad, using the positive word. And there's no problem. You're doing this on the pavement of such established restaurants. So obviously, PAPs are also making a lot of money from that. So we also have to blame the consumers, the social media followers, because they are asking and hungering for this footage. That's why the PAPs are doing it. But what are the PAPs doing? These girls come there, every day wear one, you know, very, very crudely revealing outfit, the next day. So they have like 25 outfits, new ones made in a month. How much that outfit costs them per day? Maybe 15,000-20,000 rupees. Then they don't have any work, but they'll come in chauffeur-driven sedans. How? Because they have sugar daddies or the paparazzi cameras, the paparazzi channel owners are funding them. And they're also taking care of the municipal menace. They're also taking care of the cops, maybe. I'm not sure. But how is it going on for 3 or 4, 5 years and the cops are completely oblivious to that? How do they come and just strip, literally strip in front of the cameras on a very busy pavement, a busy sidewalk outside a respectable restaurant? And you will see that they're always outside 2 or 3 restaurant or lounge bars. So obviously there's money being exchanged. Because if you look at all these, you know, these Dukhi Mukherjee and Tanya and बहुत सारे नाम हैं, उनको यहाँ पे publicize भी नहीं करना चाहिए. It's an evil thing to do. All these people, they live in rented apartments at Mada and Model Town, which is right behind the Kokila Ambani Hospital. If people are unaware of these places, and they are paying at least rent of maybe 80,000 rupees for their apartment, then 15,000 rupees per day per outfit, then their shoes, their nails, their hair, and then the car with a chauffeur-driven, fancy car, and the guy has the cap and everything. How do you explain that? If you just calculate that, Shloka, they are spending more than 6 to 7 lakh rupees a month, and they're all jobless. Where is that money coming from?
Sugar daddies.
Sugar daddies, paparazzi, because paparazzis get lakhs and lakhs of views. So I'm sure they're funding them too.
I want you to talk to us about some strengths and some positive aspects of Bollywood that people don't know of.
See, first of all, anybody who has become successful, rich, and famous in Bollywood and being worshipped, literally जिसको hero worship कहते हैं, they have to be born with very good previous life karmas to get this. No ordinary life, no ordinary soul, no low life from a previous life is going to make it here, because इसको तो राजयोग कहते हैं यार. मतलब इन्होंने मोतीदान किए होंगे, and this life when they came here, they made a soul contract with the universe that they have forgotten. Because it's very difficult for people to stay spiritual here. A, because of their image. If they show, and incline towards one faith, the other faith people will get upset. It'll be politicized. Secondly, they don't have the freedom of praying when they want to, meditating when they want to. Thirdly, they're going through a lot of stress and they cannot even focus. Unka dhyan kahan se aayega? So they are born with very good yogs, but unfortunately they lose it somewhere along the way. They lose the plot. But they're all good souls. And if you meet them in real life, they're so caring, so accepting of your criticism towards them. Until today, 30 years of my life, I've never had a problem with any star. This one time, I had just moved back in 2009. I saw Salman at this nightclub he used to own in Bandra, which was right next to my building. And I said, "Hey Salman, how are you?" So he did. He's too cute, yeah. He's too cute. Like, I'm not talking to you. Salman, why are you upset with me? So he named a PRO who now heads Karan Johar's publicity department, and she's ruined all his stars and him. So he said, "You left me for her and you turned tables and you went to Shah Rukh Khan." So I looked at him very blankly and I said, "No, Salman, I didn't do that." He said, "Then how come you didn't contact me for 9 years? Where did you disappear? You didn't write about me. You never contacted me." सोचो, ये मैं आपको अभी की बात बता रही हूँ, मतलब 2012. He said, "You turned tables with that girl who became a PRO for him and Karan Johar." I said, No, Salman, you're getting it all wrong. I quit everything overnight and I went to make my marriage work for the sake of my son. The moment he heard that guy just melted. I mean, Salman has a heart of gold. He's so badly accused and abused all the time. मेरे को सब उसकी PRO बोलते हैं, पेड PRO. सलमान, आपने मेरे को 8 आना भी नहीं दिया है ना, 4 आना दिया है ना, मैं लूँगी आपसे. Okay? So he just went so soft. I think he sees his mother in every mother. So the moment I told him I gave up everything to make my marriage work for my son, he just does this. And one waiter comes there with a big tray full of Cafe Petron. That's the tequila, Cafe Petron. He says, "Now drink, drink. And he gave me a hug. And I still didn't think I should take a picture with him. I met him so many times after that. They are nice people, yaar. And people don't understand. They're not happy. They're suffering. They're physically unwell. They're mentally attacked every day, hated by so many people, loved by so many people. Today, if somebody posts a comment, you or me, we are looking fat, ugly, whatever, we also feel bad. Can you imagine them getting these comments in lakhs and lakhs of numbers?
Which is that one film star, maybe director, actor, female actor, who you think is a very good person, genuinely good person?
That's a very hard thing to answer. They have no time for spirituality. They have no time for prayers. What they want is they want to buy spirituality. And they rather pay these gurus, वो आपके यज्ञ कर रहे हैं, वो तंत्र करें, मंत्र करें. They do not have the time to invest for their spiritual growth. They don't have a problem paying for that. So these people want to pay gurus. Abhi, he became very evolved suddenly because of this. And then whenever you went on to his set, moment he would start quoting Rumi and reading Rumi whenever he had a break from the shoot, and people would run away from him. They would actually run away from him. So, a lot of stars, like I'm talking about some big superstars, you would know better because you're running a spirituality channel, Body to Being. ये लोग है ना वो 1.5 फुटिया को खरीदते हैं. I don't know if our viewers are aware of it. They can Google it. Like वो हम goblins पढ़ते थे ना in our stories when we were children. ये 1.5 फुटिया खरीदते हैं जो इतने बोने लिलीपुट से भी नीचे goblins जैसे होते हैं. तो जैसे हम सुनते हैं in our comics के जीनी को बॉटल में बंद करके रखते हैं. These goblins, these 1.5 फुटियाज or 2.5 फुटियाज you call them, they are actually tamed and enslaved by tantrics, and they are sold to Bollywood people. I know at least 3 people who are huge in Bollywood. And please don't think I'm talking about the 3 Khans. There are 3 people who are really huge in Bollywood. Now people can figure. They have bought these little things for more than 25 crores each. So, we talk about Illuminati and everything. बॉलीवुड में तो इल्यूमिनाटी का बाप है. इनके पास ये छोटे 1.5 फुटिया है.
इनसे क्या करते हैं?
You know what? Like I told you before, they are not worried कि उनके ऊपर क्या आ रहा है. They just don't want their rival to grow. They don't want you to please or praise their rival. So they will say वो गॉब्लिन को भेज देंगे यार, उसका इंटरव्यू है वहाँ पे ये प्रोडक्शन हाउस से, उसका डील मत होने दो. The goblin will be like a ब्रह्म राक्षस जैसे होते हैं. They are like ब्रह्म राक्षसas, goblins, 1.5 फुटियाज. And they will go and they'll spoil that for them. Most of the people in Bollywood are not worried about what they are losing. They are obsessed with what their rival is gaining. That's the problem here.
You've been so brazen, candid, upfront about your views. Have you ever been threatened? Have you ever even been ostracized from the Bollywood fraternity? Oh.
Never. Bollywood is so accepting. Bollywood is so loving, nurturing, and caring. I've never had a problem with anybody. One time, I was at that time also a rookie reporter, and Stardust had carried a story about Aamir Khan ना बहुत बगला भगत बनता था तब. Now तो he's honest. अभी पता नहीं 3-4 शादियाँ, पता नहीं कितने बच्चे उसने पैदा किए हैं. I have lost count. But this one time, Stardust and Showtime were magazines owned by the same group, Mr. Nari Hira. And I was representing Showtime. Once Aamir Khan was shooting there with Juhi Chawla, and I went to meet him. And I said, Aamir, I've come to interview you. So he says, okay, sit. Then every 1 hour he would make me wait, and then he would come back to me and he would say, but how could they say I'm having an affair with Juhi Chawla? How could they do this negative story? So I said, but I'm not Stardust, Aamir. I'm Showtime. And I've got nothing to do with it. I'm a rookie reporter. How can you blame me for it? No, you belong to the same group, so you need to get punished. He made me wait there for 3.5 hours and humiliated me for something I hadn't done. And I had no control over that. I was a rookie. I was a trainee reporter. And I'm telling him, that's Stardust, I'm Showtime. No, but you need to pay the price for it. 3.5 hours, he humiliated me there. And then things happened. He grew, I grew, Simi became Simi Chandok. And then I came back from America in 2010 again. That's a very eventful year. I meet him at the Morani's party. And it was one of their brother's birthday. And I met Aamir Khan. And he had just become a star. So he was sitting there, his nephew was sitting there with a major attitude, like, dude, I'm not going to even acknowledge you. You better suck up to me. मेरे को क्या फर्क पड़ता तुम आमिर खान हो या I have a relation with Aamir Khan, not you. So I ignored him. And that time, I was so arrogant, like, hey, dude, give me attention. I didn't care. Aamir Khan had changed and evolved so much as a human being by then that I told him, you remember what you did to me there? He said, no, this, that, you got it wrong, blah, blah, blah. And he spent 2.5 hours there with full humility, with full namrata, explaining to me that he did not mean to hurt me. And he gave me such a long explanation. It went on for 2.5 hours. Finally, जिसका birthday था ना, उसके 12 भी बज गए बेचारे के, and they wanted to light fireworks because Moranis are famous for fireworks. And they said, Amir bhai, अब तो आ जाओ यार, 12 बज रहे हैं. So Amir said, no, let me finish with Simi. He gave me 2.5 hours to convince me that he is not that Amir Khan. You know, finally what I told him, Amir, very kind of you, but you become so perfect now that I prefer that imperfect, flaw wala Amir Khan to this. You have become a robot. And you know what? He didn't get upset. He smiled and he gave me a hug. So यहाँ पे भी evolved souls होती हैं. They go through a process.
Miss Simi Chandok, it's been such a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Same here, Shloka. I hope your viewers don't get a culture shock, but I think you have very strong-minded viewers who are obviously evolved. So I think they will start focusing on the positive things we've said about Bollywood, and the negatives that we've also discussed here, they will take it with a lighter heart and actually learn to forgive Bollywood for all their follies and all their flaws. That's what I hope with this episode.
Thank you so much. And I hope to personally meet you in person. I would have loved for this podcast to happen in person, but nonetheless, hope to have you another time.
Pleasure.
Thank you
Pleasure.
so much. Thank you.
Yes.
In case you'd like to be a part of our online and in-person yoga, diet and spiritual programs, you can join our WhatsApp group below where we post all our upcoming programs and give free tips on health, diet and lifestyle.